Hello, my name is Megan and I'm going to talk about the flipped classroom using video tutorials. I teach retail display, drawing and costume construction in the further education sector. What is the flipped classroom? The flipped classroom is a teaching strategy which uses blended learning. It is a diverse way of teaching using various ways of delivering your content to your students. It is usually done online outside of the classroom. Lessons done on video is a particular type of flipped classroom I'm going to speak about today. Using video tutorials is an effective way to be more inclusive for students that may have accessibility issues. Students on this module with accessibility issues such as illness could benefit by having a video tutorial for the classes they may not be able to attend when they are ill or have doctor's appointments. Students with dyslexia or dyspraxia, or even students who just struggle with taking notes, often miss out on important content when they are focusing on taking notes. Having video tutorials gives these students an opportunity to pause and rewind to take notes at their own pace. Students can access these video tutorials via email or on a learning management system such as Moodle or Blackboard. I created these videos for my flipped classroom video tutorials with the Canon Nigeria handheld camcorder. It has an SD card that goes into most laptops or computers. However, most smartphones and Androids have good video recording devices that teachers could use to video their content. For instance, the voiceover for this video was recorded on my iPhone. I email my students the video tutorials I want them to watch, as some of them were having issues with their Moodle pages at the time. There are many other ways students could watch video tutorials. Email and Moodle, of course, but teachers could also create a YouTube channel that students could watch their tutorials on too. I used iMovie on an Apple MacBook to create this video. I also used iMovie to edit the videos that I created for my video tutorials. There are many positive outcomes from the flipped classroom using video tutorials for both students and teachers. Students don't need to travel to college to take part in the lesson. Students can watch the video lesson in their own time and in the comfort of their own home. Option to pause, rewind and re-watch the video if there is anything they misunderstood or wanted to revise on. Use the video for other lessons and students over and over again, which reduces and saves preparation time. Video learning can be an effective way to keep students engaged and mix things up a bit if they are getting demotivated and bored of the traditional classroom setting. Although there are so many benefits, there are also some negative factors too. Students are missing out on the human interaction with their teachers and peers. Students can't immediately ask questions and get instant feedback from their teachers. All students might not have access to internet or the technology needed to partake in the flipped learning class. Most colleges do provide access to the internet and computers, but students are there anyway. They may as well get the benefits of having a physical teacher explaining the content. Can act up and not work as well as you hoped. Uploading content for the students may take more time than expected, and there can also be technical difficulties at the students' end of the flipped classroom setup. There are many success stories about MOOCs and online education. More and more people are signing up for online courses, and for certain subjects that are computer-based or involve a lot of theory, video tutorials could be a successful tuition method for these students. But due to my own experience of using the flipped classroom and video tutorials, I believe that for practical subjects such as costume construction, the traditional way of teaching is far more beneficial for these students. Sewing can be tricky and frustrating if things don't go right straight away. A lot of time can be wasted with students trying to problem solve and if something goes wrong. If they have the instant help and feedback from a teacher, a lot more work can get done. However, some of the more theory-based elements of the costume construction module could be taught through video tutorials. Using correct health and safety procedures in the sewing room and when using machinery is a learning outcome on the costume construction module. This is often a boring subject to cover with students and can waste a lot of time in the sewing room. Creating a video for this element of the subject and having the students watch it at home before they begin any work in the sewing room could be a beneficial way for both the students and the teacher. But will they watch it at home? That's the question. I experimented the flipped classroom using video tutorials with my first year costume construction students in Inchicore College. This is a practical and very hands-on subject, and traditionally my method of teaching with this cohort of students is mainly through group demonstration followed by one-on-one teaching, giving feedback and feed-forward to each individual student. This course usually consists of a mixed body of students. For example, this year there are students who have come straight from school, some who have already completed third level education and want to change in career. Some have part-time jobs, some have children. Others travel quite a distance to college each day. One particular student suffers with a long-term illness and often struggles with the commute and workload of college. I believe certain students can benefit from video tutorials more than others. Students that already have a busy lifestyle due to a job or children, an ill family member, or be ill themselves could benefit from the flipped classroom and video tutorials. Often fitting classes into their busy schedule can be difficult, so having a recorded video tutorial could benefit such learners. However, I believe that students attending college straight from school that have no obstacles in their way really benefit from attending college by having social interaction with peers in the classroom and learning situation and in a social setting. Building friendships and finding yourself is a very important part of a young adult's life. Video classes and online learning can be lonely and isolating for many students, so if their only form of classes were via video tutorials, students would miss out on the social side of attending further education. On this module, a lot of table or bench space is needed for pattern drafting and cutting fabric. Some students' homes would have limited space and they may still need to travel to college, which provides enough space for the students to carry out their work at ease. Sewing machines are also provided by the college for the students to use. Not all students may be able to afford their own sewing machine, so therefore wouldn't be able to work from home. Therefore, having online classes is not really beneficial or suitable for all these students on this course. Here are examples of some of the video tutorials that I uploaded for my students to watch. Hi guys, so today I'm going to do the first part of your lesson, which is going to be how to thread your sewing machine and your bobbin. So the sewing machine that I'm going to show you today is the Brother Anniversary machine, which has a little digital screen here. I'm not sure how well you can see it. And these are the machines that we do have in the college. There are also other Brother machines which do not have the screen, but they're very, very similar and a lot of the same rules apply. Okay, so first thing is first. I'm just going to show you a few little things that you will need before you start any type of sewing. So these guys here, your little snips, these are my best friend. I use these all the time, and I just have the little string that I leave and I tie it around my neck, and I just have them handy there the whole time. Some people like having a tweezers to thread their machine. I tend not to use them, but some people find them handy when they can't get the thread through the needle. Okay, you will also need your bobbin, and of course you'll also need your thread. An important thing for you guys to know is which type of bobbin to use for your machine. In this case, we use this curved little one here. The edges have a little curve on them, and that's the one that the Brother Anniversary machine uses. There are other ones that are these little flat edges. These work for some machines, but not all of them. So be careful not to put the wrong bobbin into the machine, because it can cause your thread to knot and it just causes little bits of trouble. Okay. Once you have that little bit clicked into place, you use your foot, step on it, and your bobbin begins to thread. So number 4 is where it gets a little bit tricky. I'm not sure if you can see, there's a little silver catch in here, which must be up there for you to put the thread through it. For you to get that little silver metal. So when your thread is snipped, you bring it through the little eye of the needle, which is going to be extremely hard. So you always put it from front into the back of the needle. Okay? And you put it through the eye of the needle that way. The foot on the pedal, the faster your machine is going to go. So if you're a beginner, I would start quite slowly and just press your foot on the machine and away you go. Hi guys, so today I'm going to teach you how to measure your actor, and this is going to come really in handy when you're doing your work experience towards the end of the year for your measure for measure play. So you're all going to get one of these sheets, and this is every single measurement that you're going to need for each actor. And the most important thing that I'm going to say to you is make sure before you measure one single measurement to put the actor's name down on it, because you're going to have loads of these flying around college. Here is some feedback from my students when I asked them how they felt about the flipped classroom experience.
Okay, so what did you enjoy most about doing the flipped classroom?
It was brilliant. It was super convenient for me because I was able to just go straight to work from home and watch it in my own time. And for one of the videos, actually, it was a measuring video, so I was able to stop and rewind and just really learn how to measure people properly when I was measuring actors for a play that we did recently.
So what were the negatives about doing the flipped classroom?
The only negative was my thread kept getting caught in my machine, and I really wish you were there to give me feedback because I was just hours trying to figure out what was going wrong. That'd probably be my only negative.
So did you learn more in the following class when I did a face-to-face with you guys?
Well, yeah, because I was able to get instant feedback and I was able to ask as many questions as I wanted to. So yeah, I learned much more than in the flipped classroom.
So would you like this to be your only method of teaching for this subject?
Well, yeah, no, it's convenient for someone like me who works and goes to college, so I can kind of watch the videos in my own time, but it's really hard when things go wrong and I don't know what to do, that I kind of would need the likes of yourself around to help me out more, so half and half I would say.
So what were the positives for you for doing the flipped classroom?
I think for me the positives were definitely having it there in my own time. So I could stop it, rewind it, I could go back over the bits that I'd missed or, I was having trouble with. I suppose in seeing it step by step, I could go through it myself on my own time, whenever I had the time, especially after college. It was great, really good.
So what were the negatives for you by doing the flipped classroom?
Doing the flipped classroom for me, I found one of the negatives was I didn't have my own sewing machine at home. So even though I could watch everything at home and know step by step how to do it, I still had to actually come into college to use the sewing machines there. So that was one of the things that wasn't a bit of a negative. I suppose another one was the measurement. It was great to know what to do, but I still had to come into college in order to, measure my peers and, to practice that and go over that. I suppose in doing that then, when I was measured by my peers in one of the projects then, when I went and sewed up something, it wasn't until the end that I realised that the measurements were incorrect to start with. So it would have been great to have you there, to check the measurements just to make sure we were on the right track and not go through the whole process of making it and then finding out we had done the measurements incorrectly. So that was some of the negatives really with it.
Do you feel you learn more by me doing classes face-to-face or by watching the video classes?
I think for myself it's definitely the face-to-face. I think you can learn a bit in the videos, but the face-to-face you get to ask the questions, you can see as you're doing it what you need to learn, and I suppose just asking questions the whole way along to see if you're on the right track.
Would you like this as the only method of teaching for this subject?
For this subject, I think no. I think it's such a hands-on subject. It is good to get the one-to-one, sort of that face-to-face, tutoring and learning. But then having it, as an extra is great. Then you can revise it yourself. But definitely, for me, it'll be the one-to-one is sort of the best.
My own students did find elements of the flipped classroom and video classes beneficial, so I will continue to use it as an additional form of teaching, but I find my cohort of students will benefit far more by my traditional methods by attending college and being involved with face-to-face teaching and peer learning. Thank you for listening.